After then we should have to see that is the microscopic structure or the histology of the stomach. Okay? So the histology of the stomach, that is the stomach, it should be made by the 4 layers. That is the outermost layer, that is the serous layer, which is made by the peritoneum. So outer layer. Okay? Then the muscular layer. The muscular layer, that should be made by the 3 layers of unstriped muscle. That is outer longitudinal coat, middle circular coat. So here you can see that is these longitudinal fibers, that is the longitudinal coat. Then the middle, that is the circular coat. So here you can see that is the dot dot, that is the circular coat, and the innermost, that is the oblique coat. Okay? So these 3 coat, it should be form the muscular layer of the stomach. So out of this, that is the circular coat, that should be forming the thickness into that the pyloric region, and it should be form the sphincter into the pyloric region. After then the submucous layer. The submucous layer, that consists of the loose areolar tissue, and the innermost layer, that is the mucous layer. So here you can see that is the mucosa. Okay? So the mucous membrane, it is thick, soft and the velvety, and it present the number of temporary fold called the gastric ruggi. Okay? Then the mucous membrane, it is lined by the simple columnar epithelial cell, which forming the simple tubular glands, and the glands present into this region, that is in the cardiac region, that is the secretory mucous gland are present. The glands into the fundus and the body region, that consist of the mucous cells and secrete the mucus, the parietal or the oxyntic cell, which secrete the hydrochloric acid and the gastric intrinsic factor, and the chip cell, which secrete the pepsinogen, and the glands which are mostly present into that the pyloric region, that secrete the mucus. Okay? So these are the 4 layer which is present into the stomach. After then we should have to see that is the interior of the stomach. So here in this diagram you can see that is the interior of the stomach, this one. So whenever you can see that is the interior of stomach, so you observe the mucosa of the stomach, that thrown into number of folds, that is called the gastric ruggi, this one. And these are the temporary fold. Whenever that is the stomach is full with the food, so it should be, stomach should be dilated, and that fold should be disappears. Then the second interior, that is there are some small depressions on the mucosal surface are present. So this is open the gastric glands. So into that the mucosal surface, it should be shows that is the small depression, that is called the gastric pits, and into that pits, that is open the gastric glands. Then the last one, that is the gastric canal, or that is called the magistracy. So here in this diagram you can see this is the gastric canal, this one. So the gastric canal, it is a longitudinal furrow that forms a temporarily during the swallowing between the longitudinal fold along the lesser curvature. So here in this diagram you can see that should be forming the temporarily fold of the longitudinal muscular fold, that is the longitudinal fold. A gastric canal forms due to firm attachment of the gastric mucosa to the underlying muscular layer, and which does not have any oblique layer at this site. And the clinical importance of that the canal, that is the canal allows a rapid passage of swallowing liquid along the lesser curvature and to the lower part before it spread into the other part of the stomach. So whenever that is the liquid or water that should be enters into the stomach, so it cannot be spread into the other part, but throughout this canal that is directly enter into that the lower part of the stomach. Okay? So this is the pyloric or the gastric canal. ठीक है. After then we should have to see that is the blood supply of the stomach. So the blood supply of the stomach, here you can see this another diagram. So this one. So arterial supply or the blood supply. So stomach, it should be supplied by the several arteries. So first artery, that is the left gastric artery. So this one, that is the branch of colic trunk, this one. Then the second, the gastric artery, which is the right gastric artery, which is the branch of common hepatic artery, this one. Okay. Third branch, that is the left gastroepiploic artery. So this one, it is the branch of splenic artery. Then next one, that is the right gastroepiploic artery, this one. So it is the branch of gastroduodenal artery. And 5 to 7 gastric artery, which are the branch of the splenic artery. So this one. So that is the arterial supply of the stomach. After then, that is the venous drainage of the stomach. So for this again we should have to see the another diagram, the venous drainage. So here this is the venous drainage. So veins of that is the stomach, so that is mostly drain into, that is the portal vein. That is firstly it is drain into that the superior mesenteric vein. So here you can see that is the maximum veins related with that the stomach. It should be drained into the superior mesenteric vein, and this superior mesenteric vein, that should be drained into that the splenic vein, and the splenic vein then drain into that the portal vein. So here you can see. So this is the splenic vein. Here the splenic vein that it joins with the superior mesenteric vein, and then it is continue as the portal vein, this one. Then the lymphatic drainage. So this is the lymphatic drainage of the stomach. So the lymph from the area drains in the different direction into the pyloric, hepatic, left gastric lymph nodes and passes for all the nodes into that the colic lymph nodes. Okay? So lymph from the all areas of the stomach reaches to the colic lymph node. Then the nerve supply of the stomach. So for this we should have to see the another diagram, that is the nerve supply. So this is. So sympathetic nerve supply of the stomach, as it is the visceral organ, so that is supplied by the sympathetic and the parasympathetic, and the both function of that the nerve, they are antagonist with each other. So the sympathetic nerve supply, that is from 6 to 10 segments of the thoracic nerve. Okay? This one. Okay? Which is related for the pain sensation and the vasomotor sensation. Then the parasympathetic nerve supply, that is from the vagus through the esophageal plexus. So here you can see that is the vagal trunk, and it gives that is the branches. This one. Okay. Then the anterior gastric nerve. So here this one, the posterior gastric nerve, the stimulation causes increase the motility of the stomach and in secretion of the gastric juice, that is the pepsin and the HCl. So that is the main function of the parasympathetic nerve supply. Okay? After then we should have to see that is the clinical anatomy of the stomach. So the first clinical point related with the stomach, that is the oesophageal varices. So you know that is the lower part of the esophagus that is related with the portosystemic circulation. So if that is the portal hypertension is happen, so there are the lower part of the esophagus which is related with the stomach, that should be occurs the dilatation of the veins, and whenever that is the bolus of food is enters into this region, so that is the dilated veins, it should be burst and it should be occurs the hematemesis or the omitting of the blood. So that is not directly related with the stomach, but that is related with the upper part of the stomach and the lower part of the esophagus. So that is called the esophageal varices. Then the next part of the clinical point related with the stomach, that is achalasia cardia. So here you can see that is the lower part of the esophagus which is opens into that the cardiac end of the stomach. So because of the according to the neuromuscular pathology, that is the lower end of the esophagus, it cannot be open and the bolus of food cannot be enter into the stomach, and because of this that the dilatation of the esophagus that should be occurs. Okay? So this clinical condition that is called the achalasia cardia. Then the next clinical point, that is the gastric pain. So the gastric pain, it should be occurs in the epigastrium, that is because of the stomach is supplied by the segment of T10 to T6. Okay? So you know in the nerve supply we had seen sympathetic nerve supply, that is it is supplied by the 6th thoracic spinal nerve to the 10th thoracic spinal nerve. So if the pain or any pathology should be occurs in related with the stomach, so the pain that should be occurs into the epigastric region. Okay? Then the next clinical point, that is the hiatus hernia. So here in this diagram you can see the hiatal hernia. So here that is the esophageal opening of the stomach that should be dilated, and because of the part of the fundus of the stomach that should be enters into the thoracic cavity. So here, so that is the herniation of the upper part of the stomach into that the thoracic cavity. So this clinical condition, it is called the hiatus hernia. Okay? The next clinical point that is related with the stomach, that is the gastric ulcer. So in the gastric ulcer, you know that is the SCL is continuously secrete into the stomach, and as the SCL it is the corrosive in nature. So because of the stress, worry and the spicy food, that it should be stimulate to secrete the gastric secretion, and as the gastric secretion it is the corrosive in nature, so it should be damage the mucosa of the stomach, and because of it should be occurs the ulcer into that the interior of the stomach. So that in this condition you can see that is the inner mucosa of the stomach, it is red in color, and there is forming the ulcer into the mucosal region. So that is called the gastric ulcer. The next clinical point that is related with, that is the for the diagnosis of any disease related with the stomach, there are the two procedures are done. That is, one is the skiagram, or that is also called the barium Mill X-ray, and the second procedure is done, that is the gastroscopy. So throughout the nasal route or throughout the oral route, that is the scope it passes throughout the esophagus into that the stomach, and because of that is the interior of the stomach that should be visualized. So it can be help for the diagnosis of the ulcer, any type of carcinoma or any other pathology that should be present into the interior of the stomach. Okay? So next clinical point, that is the gastric carcinoma. So gastric carcinoma, it is commonly occurs along the greater curvature of the stomach, so in this region. Okay? The next, that is the pyloric obstruction. So that pyloric obstruction, that may be congenital or that may be acquired. So in cases visible peristalsis in the epigastrium and vomiting after the meals. So in the pyloric obstruction, that is, it should be occurs the vomiting after the meal. So that is the clinical condition or the symptoms which is seen into that the pyloric obstruction. Okay. The next clinical point, that is, whenever the peptic ulcer is occurs due to the hyper secretion of the HCl into that the stomach, that is, the surgical procedure is done, that is called the vagotomy. Means that is the vagus nerve or the branches of the vagus nerve that should be cut, which is stimulate the parietal cell to secrete the HCl secretion. And because of cutting of that, the here you can see that is the branches of the vagus nerve which is spread into that the body of the stomach, and that should be related to increase the secretion of the parietal cell to secrete the HCl secretion. And if in the surgical procedure that branches of the vagus nerve that should be cut, and because of that is the HCl secretion, it is controlled and that it is help to cure that is the peptic ulcer which is present into that the duodenum. So these are the clinical points related with the stomach.